Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a news edition on Canal Algérie. These are the headlines. In line with the strategic vision of the President of the Republic to strengthen the South-South partnerships and support energy cooperation and integration with Niger, the Sonalgas technical team is conducting meetings and site visits in Niamey in preparation of the launch of the power plant projects. In Ainti Mushin province, the agricultural sector is going digital to better support farmers and improve yields. Homes collapse and trust crumbles in Morocco amid rising public anger. Welcome back. Based on the country's highest authorities, the Secretary of State to the Minister of Foreign Affairs in charge of the national community abroad, Sofiane Chaib, oversaw this Friday the establishment of a crisis unit at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to monitor the situation of our citizens following the serious military escalation and developments in the Middle East. This unit is responsible for monitoring the situation of our community and citizens in the countries in question, in constant coordination with our diplomatic and consular missions in the region, and is mobilized to provide all necessary support and assistance. Our ministry urges the citizens in the region to exercise the utmost caution and remain in constant contact with our diplomatic and consular representatives in order to deal with the current situation. According to the same source, the ministry also informs our citizens and members of our community in the region that the following green number has been made available to them: 00 21 32 15 04 500, and invites them to register on the DZ Travelers digital platform dedicated to emergencies and designed for Algerian citizens abroad. The negotiations conducted under the auspices of the Sultanate of Oman raised high hopes for the peaceful settlement of the Iranian-American discussions. However, the breakdown of these negotiations, which is currently manifesting itself in a military escalation with unpredictable consequences, is deeply regrettable. Algeria expresses its deep concern about this development and calls on all parties to exercise restraint and a sense of responsibility in order to avoid exposing the Gulf region to further insecurity and instability. Given the current situation in the Middle East, Air Algérie Group has announced the cancellation of flights scheduled for Saturday to and from Amman, Dubai and Doha. The Air Algérie Group invites those affected by these cancellations to contact the agencies or call center on 3302 for further information regarding their flights. As part of the President of the Republic's vision to strengthen African cooperation, Sonalgas has launched field inspections for a new power plant project in partnership with Niger, combining infrastructures development, expertise exchange and training support. Rania Al-Bahri.
In line with South-South vision, Algeria is moving forward towards strengthening its African extension in a step aimed at achieving economic integration. Sonalgas Group continues the implementation works of the electricity generation plant project in Niamey, while also supporting the Nigerian electricity company Niger in technical and logistical aspects.
The team conducted inspections of the infrastructure as well as the grid connection requirements for the turbines. Several meetings were also held with the Nigerian side to assess the progress of the work pending the arrival of the gas turbines.
Through a joint action plan, the technical teams are working on inspecting the plant site and studying the preparations for the installation of the 2 gas turbines. They will then move to the proposed sites for the construction of electrical equipment storage facilities.
We remain optimistic and always keep hope alive, especially when I see that from the very beginning everything will be ready on time for shipment. I hope logistics will not fail us and that everything will proceed as planned.
This project and what it represents as a symbol of new African unity reflects Algeria's long-standing expertise in the energy sector through Sonalgas. It adopts an integrated approach that combines technical expertise and industrial support to ensure project implementation according to the highest standards.
In the context of the fight against the relentless drug war waged by the Makhzen against our country, through its desperate and repeated attempts to introduce large quantities of these poisons using various means and methods, as evidenced by the quantities seized daily at our western borders. In this context, detachments of the People's National Army succeeded on Friday, February 27th, in the Bni Unif in the 3rd Military Region in neutralizing 2 Moroccan drug traffickers who were attempting to bring 49 kilograms of processed keef into the country. The identity of one of the 2 drug traffickers has been established as Bindouda Abdel Qadir. These operations confirm the constant vigilance and the determination of the People's National Army units deployed throughout the national territory to confront these criminals, whatever the cost, and to thwart all of the attempts to undermine the integrity of our national territory, security and safety of our citizens, concluded the Ministry of National Defence in its statement. In the northwest of the country, agriculture is going digital in Ain Timushent, with smart apps and monitoring platforms that are helping local services support farmers and boost their production capacity, showing that modern farming relies on both technology and fieldwork. Ikram Benqadi.
The wilaya of Ain Timushent is recording a remarkable progress this season in its ploughing and sowing campaign, driven by recent rainfall and strengthened by the introduction of digital monitoring for technical inspection.
This agricultural season was promising thanks to the recent rainfall, with hopes of more abundant rain in March to ensure a good harvest. Thanks to this tool, more than 4,500 hectares have already been covered in the province of Ain Timushent.
At the Agriculture Service Department, Engineer Fawzi Massa is supervising the operation directly from his office, using a digital platform he developed himself. The tool enables real-time monitoring and improves coordination across the campaign.
During previous campaigns, communication was difficult between the 12 agricultural units across the province. To solve this, a unified database was introduced. On the interface, each cereal variety appears in a different color: durum wheat, soft wheat and barley, allowing clear tracking of progress. The data shows 206% completion for soft wheat, 99% for barley, while the overall progress rate for the province appears in red.
Digitalization is transforming in real time the monitoring, control and assessment of the agriculture sector in Ain Timushent.
As homes fall and trust collapses in Morocco, the citizens accuse authorities of abandoning them to poverty, repression and despair. More details with Najah Diyar.
Behind the polished facade of the Makhzen, a nation is suffocating. Across Morocco, people worn down by poverty, injustice and the deafening silence of those in power are living in a state of quiet despair.
We would rather die than endure such injustices. We are told about the rule of law and justice, but where are they? My children are desperate. They can no longer endure this humiliation.
Bulldozers reduce homes to rubble, shattering lives in their wake. Families are left stranded amid the debris, abandoned without assistance or protection. Once again, it is the most vulnerable who bear the heaviest burden.
They want to expel us from our land. We have nowhere to go. They want to throw us in the streets with our children. Let justice be done. This is too much. We suffer with this injustice every single day. I am ready to do anything to protect this land that is ours.
A system utterly disconnected from reality has left people to comfort their suffering alone, silenced, defenseless and forsaken. For these residents, every new decision is yet another proof of unchecked arbitrariness and blatant indifference.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our news edition. Thank you so much and stay tuned on Canal Algérie. Good night.